Good morning, everyone. 30 years ago, December, was released a country song, very popular back in its day, and I'm just kind of curious to see if anyone can get the last word of the refrain of this song. Now, I'll kind of sing the refrain, and the last word I'm going to point to you, I'm just curious to see in this vast crowd of ours whether or not we have one person. You don't have to sing it. You can just say the word, okay? Love can build a... Aha! We've got two people, I heard. All right. Love can build a bridge, okay, between your heart and mine. That's a song by the Judds, literally released in 30 years ago in December this month. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Let's keep that in mind as we look at the Christmas message. Before we do that, so a little rejoicing of my own. So hopefully Santa has come already to a number of your houses, and maybe you got some toys to play with. I always enjoy a few. Now, I didn't get this during Christmas, but I did get it throughout this year. A friend, actually a former employee, got this. I think life is better with sound effects. I kind of make my own, but this employee or former employee got me a little sound machine, and I absolutely love it. Now, when I have a staff meeting, I always bring it with me, and I seem to think that they love it, but their reaction is more something like this. Okay, now if you have children or grandchildren, you know that particular type of cry is not one really of need, but really of annoyance. Let's listen to it again. All right, so now I seem to think that they really like what I'm bringing to the meeting, but it's more like this.
Whatever.
Okay, they're always saying, Father.
Whatever.
Father.
Whatever.
Okay, yes, I get that a lot, but I continue to charge forward. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Father, let's charge forward with this homily. All right, let's get it going. All right, let's finish it up. All right, fair enough. I do hope that you have some sort of toys that you get to play with a little bit. I mean, after all, it's important that we get socks, and important that we get T-shirts and other practical gifts, but it is very nice to get some toys as well, and we enjoy ourselves. But, back to the message, love can build a bridge. When you think about what actually happened 2,000 years ago, where the second person of the Trinity, and the Trinity is a perfect communion of persons, a perfect exchange of love eternally. The second person of the Trinity, in the perfect amount of time, or the perfect time in history, came into being in this world. In other words, he took flesh, the incarnation. So the second person of the Trinity took flesh, and that's what we're celebrating today. And when he did that, Jesus became a bridge between God and humanity. Because what had happened with humanity is that we had become isolated. There was a true experience in our humanity of being alone, a true experience of a lack of forgiveness, an experience of this deep desire of what it really meant to love. And Jesus came into the world, and he bridged that gap between God and humanity, and he brought us together. And really, we are not the Savior. Okay? Christ is the Savior, and we can't fulfill his place. But what we can do is follow him and try to be like him, to be a bridge between God and others, to bring them together, to be a conduit of grace, where those who are isolated, those who are alone, those who need forgiveness, those who deeply desire to know what it is to love, would have those things. And sometimes this opportunity to be a bridge can be very, very specific to us. I think about this, I think about a young lady, Claire Koch. 7 years ago, in 2013, she was just a little kindergartner. And it was coming to the great Christmas play, and they had the Christmas choir, and that Christmas choir was made up of all the kindergartners, and there was tons of them, huge. So they're all there, and this whole room is filled with people, and you can kind of hear the music and even feel it. And you can feel the connectedness throughout the entire place, except for two people. Two people were isolated. Two people were truly alone. Two people were not connected. And as the music started, Claire stepped forward, and all the kids started with their hand motions and their singing. And Claire did hand motions as well, but it was different for her. The motions that she did were not with the rest of them. She started to utilize hand motions that were from American Sign Language. See, the two people that were isolated were her parents. Claire could hear completely, but both her parents were completely deaf. And they could not hear a thing going on in that entire room. And as everything started and all the kids did their hand motions, Claire stood out, and there's just a vibrant little soul. She didn't tell her parents that she was going to do it. She stepped out and became a bridge. She connected her parents and filled that gap of isolation and aloneness. She started to sign, and right away, they were connected. They could understand. They just looked at each other, and they couldn't believe what this little girl had decided to do. And so filled with joy and of vibrancy, that she was smiling and signing, and you could just feel the connectedness. Now that was a singular moment of grace where she had an opportunity to step into the gap, that she could be a bridge. That can happen for us too. But that's going to be more of something that I'm not going to unfold for you, but that you are going to have to discover and to realize and to see, this is my moment. And I have to step forward. Something more universal would be an experience of, in our relationships, I think I need to step forward and I need to say, I'm sorry first. Or I need to be the person to invite another into my home for a meal. Or I'm going to invite this person that I've thought about inviting to Mass, but I haven't. Or inviting them to join me and come to the sacrament of reconciliation and penance. These opportunities that come to us. For the young ones, maybe how about, or not so young ones, how about doing something around the house? Take out the garbage without being asked. Simply come up to the other person and say, I love you. Those those moments, those invitations can connect us, those who are isolated, those who are feeling alone, those who are desiring to be forgiven, those who want to feel what it is to truly love. You and I can be the people who stand in the gap and be the bridge. Love can build a bridge. The question is, will you be that bridge?